makes you believe in yourself?
Ronnie's slogan is, do your best, and then take a big rest. Done. My girlfriend said she wasn't turned on to me anymore. She said I wasn't warm and cuddly enough. And then she left me for a comic book writer.
Donut up. Now control drop into your face.
I used to go about my day spending tens, even hundreds of calories doing just regular daily activities like lying down, brushing my teeth, reading a book. Now with the Slob 90X program, I can do these things in a lazy, almost catatonic way.
SLOB stands for slow, lazy, ordinary body. In just 90 days, I can help you become a computer nerd, a party animal, or just a plain old lovable slob. But there's too much crap to explain here now, and I gotta take a nap. So get yours today, and we'll send you the entire Slob 90X 12 DVD set, plus 4 bonus DVDs. Don't be miserable and muscle-bound. Be a slob now. I did it, and so can you.
Couch body.
Hello, hummingbirds. We are in for a ride today. We're going out to all the services. We're going out to LinkedIn. We're going out to Facebook. We're like going wide with this show that God knows what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. So far, I've got Sergio Love on here, who's just a hilarious comedian. He's been in the business for a long time. That bird is trying to grab my shoulder. Yeah, I think he had something to say. I think he was like, whoa. Oh my God. He's talking to me too. These things, they got sharp claws. But I'm like a pirate. It's like Talk Like a Pirate Day. I don't think it is, actually, but I love that. Welcome everybody to Lunch Therapy. This is a show where we take a break from the crap. If anybody hasn't been here before, you can feel free to chat. You can feel free to chat, and we put the chats on the screen. It's a very interactive show. Today is Interview Friday, in Interview Friday fashion, we have a guest. His name is Sergio Love, and that bird just keeps going after me. He's gonna get me. We start the show. We start the show with 3 breaths. I'm gonna need 3 breaths because I don't know if this is going to work, because I got Sergio. I can't see his face. He's in the green room. Boney's working on some technical issues. We're going to find out. This is going to be one of those shows where we're flying by the seat of our pants. There's going to be parrots around every corner. So let's get into the breathing. All right, Blas, there you are. Are you ready? Are you ready for some breathing? So here's the deal, Blas. Sergio he's in the chat room, right? I mean, he's in the, not the chat room, he's in the green room, but I can't see his face, and I can't, it's just, yeah. Luckily, Richard Gaddis is here. Yeah, maybe. Luckily, Richard Gaddis is here to bail us out. If perhaps, we're really run into trouble, he can come on and, help save us. I don't know, but we've got a lot of...
He's pretty good at that. He's pretty good at that. Richard's, he's pretty good at coming and saving the day. It's just what he does.
I would like to say, Howard Aronin, one of our favorite comedians here on the show. He, let's hear it for Howard. Applause. He recommended a book. There it is. He recommended this book called Chakra Healing. There it is.
Did
It
you
came
get
in
the
the
book
mail. Yeah, we got the book. I mean, look,
Oh,
you're looking right at
All
it.
right.
Isn't that cool?
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna make me read that?
Richard said, yeah, I'm going to make you read it. Hi, Joel. Do you want me to sing Lullaby of Birdland? Yes, that might be very, very necessary. We're going to need that with all the birds around here. Chuck is here. So glad to see him. How are your chakras
Hey,
doing?
Chuck.
Jason's asking us how our chakras are doing. Mine's feeling pretty good, but today's chakra, because we're going up the chain here, is the throat chakra. You'll see it there. It's the blue one. And I'm thinking this is one that is very appropriate to me. And I'd like to focus on this today a little bit before we get into this interview. And let's see what it says from the book. This is from the book, Chakra Healing. Recommended.
Chakra Healing.
By Howie O'Ronan. Okay, this is the first of the spiritual chakras. Now we're getting into the spiritual realm here. The throat chakra has much to do with your true, authentic voice, where faith and understanding combine. Well, that's interesting. Chuck says, I saw that work trucks in LA, and it said birds are not real. The birds are not real. People are here. Hoy. We got to tell Sergio that we say hoy on the show. That's one of the things we got to remember. We got to get him to say it. It's fun to hit the throat chakra. I don't know what that means, but yeah, you don't want anybody punching you in your throat chakra. I don't know what you mean by hit, but maybe he means high intensity interval training. When the throat chakra, yeah. Okay, when the throat chakra is out of harmony, we have difficulty speaking our truth or expressing ourselves. We feel silenced and judged for what we say. We feel out of alignment with who we are, and we feel out of touch with our will to live. Maybe this is not something I have to worry about because I'm not experiencing that, thank God. But some people are out there, and this is the day for you.
Yeah, the thing is getting your mind and your philosophies and beliefs and surfing through everything in order to put everything together. You have to believe. You have to believe. You have to put them in sync in order for you to go through the process, go through the journey of allowing your chakra to.
Just Jay Comedian is in Arkansas. She's in Arkansas. What are you doing in Arkansas there? Just Jay. Holy Jay.
I'm so relaxed right now.
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm
very
totally
relaxed.
not.
I'm sorry.
I am not relaxed whatsoever.
Every time we play this,
yeah.
Every time we play this, the chakra meditation music, I almost feel like I'm being transported, kind of hypnotized into a state of relaxation. It's like the music relaxes me, and then I can't wait for us to breathe. And then when we breathe, man, it feels like a lot of weight right off my shoulders.
I like that a lot. Okay, so I have, in my life, I've had ear infections. I had an ear infection last month that just blew out my ear. I had I've had throat infections. I had sinus infections, and apparently, all of this is related to the throat chakra. So I've got to spend some time today clearing that out or clearing that channel. Kamala says, "What on earth is Bloss rambling about?" Haven't figured it out either. Getting massages and picking up muscle. So, Just Jay, if we don't get our guest on here, we're going to have to show Just Jay's video where she wrestles a muscle. Do you know what a muscle is?
Yeah, wrestles a muscle. Just Jay is going to wrestle a muscle.
She's going to wrestle with a muscle.
A muscle.
Probably on Tuesday.
A muscle?
Yeah,
wait,
probably on
muscle?
Tuesday. Yeah, a muscle.
A muscle like a clam, like a seashell muscle.
Right. That's right. Apparently, people eat them.
I love them.
When I was a kid, the mussels were all over the docks, and they were like a weed. You didn't eat them, but nowadays people eat them.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great protein. Actually, I have a friend, our boy Ray. His
Yeah.
very close friend is, I'd say, a muscle farmer. He's going to produce muscles in a very organic
He's a muscle farmer?
breeding production. I don't know what you call it. I mean, the guy breeds muscles, and it's actually going to be one of the great proteins that people are going to start to discover that it's, that could be very good for you, grown organically, grown safe.
You could grow muscle from muscles.
If we're talking about muscles from the sea in the shell, like the various kind of green, black, Asian, different types of mussels, you can farm them just like you could farm shrimp and clams and oysters. And mussels is going to be, I'm telling you, mark my words, mussels is going to be one of the great proteins.
Okay.
As we move
All right, we got to get to our
be
breathing
healthier.
because I think we have our guest. He's in the green room now. Boney is talking to him. Everything looks like it's going to be cool. I'm hoping that he's going to be in horizontal view because he seems to be in vertical view right now. But I think we're getting there. So let's do our breaths, and then we'll hit the throat chakra, and then we'll possibly be enlightened. Jay is stressed out. Oh, Kamala is stressed out with the world and the Equal Rights Amendment. Yes. We're letting all that go right now to breathe. Richard Gaddis loves muscles. He needs to start working out again. Would you say that if Richard starts working out again, would he be a muscle farmer as well?
I think that it could be something that he might be inspired by. You know what I mean? But to be a muscle farmer and a crooner, it's a tough ask. It's a very tough
Are there
ask.
any big muscly crooners? I think maybe Joe Piscopo would be a good example of a big muscly crooner.
But I don't know if Joe Piscopo is an actual crooner or if he does an impersonation.
But he does it. He does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. I'm feeling better now that we got Sergio locked and loaded. Not that he's loaded or anything. But maybe if he hangs out with Boney too much, he will be. Okay, here's the throat chakra healing vibration. Just Jay's rethinking her life. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Yeah, one of the questions I have for Sergio is like, is that his real name, Love? I mean, that's a cool name to have. I'm gonna have to ask him that.
Actually, it's interesting too because I have relatives with the last name Love.
You do?
And it's
Maybe
funny
they're
because
related.
they married into our family, and they're not related to each other.
Oh, whoa, that's deep, man.
You understand
That's some deep love. That's some deep love.
Yeah. My son was asking me that same question about that, and I go, nope, not related. But they
In
have
through the
same
nose,
last
out through
name
the
as well.
toes. Hold it. Jose's locked and loaded. Let it go.
Jose. Just Jay. I love you too, Just Jay.
This is clearing our throat chakra for the interview coming up. I think we better get into it. Bloss, I'm going to leave you behind because you're too distracting. And I'm going to see if I can get down to some business with our guest, Sergio Love.
Okay, just don't leave me with the healing vibrations.
I would like you to, do as much as you can to wrangle Boney and have him do the proper, backgrounds and stuff like that, because he's been really kind of, just between us, I mean, he's been really kind of lagging behind lately.
Well, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing to him. I mean, he's doing his best. Everybody's trying. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go talk. I'll go have a talk right now.
Okay. Camilo thinks you're passing out. Chuck says it's pulsating like a UFO. That's interesting because the way they do this, if you have stereo headphones on, it makes a pulsating sound. Bloss looks like he's channeling spirits when he talks with his eyes closed. Yeah, that's cool. I think he is. Okay, is everybody ready for an abrupt shift here because we're gonna go.
My favorite part of the
into-
show is just this first 10 minutes. Oh
I
my
know, it's
God,
so
I
nice.
feel so good. I feel
It's
so
good,
good
right?
now. Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
I'm gonna just
let me go. I gotta go talk to Boney.
I'm gonna breathe a little
I'm
bit.
out.
Just let me take in a breath. Here we go, everybody. Now it's gonna be a little bit exciting, so hold on to your hats. It's Interview Friday.
Interview. Friday.
I like it.
Friday. Hummingbirds alive. Hummingbird. Lunch.
All right.
All right.
Got some shade.
Yeah.
shade.
Here we go. This is gonna be exciting too. Look, there's
All right.
like
Let's see what we can
music
get in
for
there.
you.
See if I
Sergio
can-
Love is
all right.
here.
Is that good?
He's like
Can you
on the
guys
road.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I got loud music playing right now
Nice.
for you.
Can everybody
Yeah.
else hear me? Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
everybody can hear you. Once I lower the
Oh,
music,
man.
they'll be able to hear you even
I
better.
thought this was Joel Osteen. It's Joel.
Oh, yeah, you're on the wrong show. Oh, damn. Well, we
I
got
was doing
you.
a church show. I thought I was doing a church show. I was all ready. Had my book ready.
Oh, man.
Ah.
Well, you know, we can do some church. You know, the religion is welcome. All religions are welcome here.
Hey, I loved
yeah.
when I was in the green room. I almost fell
Yeah.
asleep. That was some
Did
good
you?
stuff you guys were doing.
Isn't
Oh
that
yeah,
good?
that was
It,
good stuff. I like that. I
just
just
calms you
started
down.
getting into the breathing stuff.
Really?
Yeah. My buddy was talking to me about breathing, and I thought he was talking about briefing, but it was no. But seriously, he taught me a few exercises, so I use that
Yeah.
daily, and I have
Yeah.
more energy, feel better, and it's good. So now I do it daily. You
I
know?
love that because I
Just
think
to-
it really helps. Does it help you as a performer? Sergio's like a comedian in Las Vegas.
Well, yeah. But you know what? I haven't been performing lately, but
Yeah.
it does help me to. Let's say it just helps me be creative. Let's just say that. Yeah. So yeah. So what's up, man?
It's great to see you. I'm so glad to have you on the show. I've got
It's
so
good to
many
be here, man.
questions
Thanks
for
having
you.
me.
I've
Oh,
got so
man.
many questions for you because I
No
listened to
way.
some.
Can you see me all right?
Yeah, I could see you. Well, you're kind of off to the side. There you are.
Okay,
Now you're
how
in the
about
thing.
that? That's better?
You're in the thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I should go that way. Okay,
That's
cool.
good. Can you see you?
Sure.
Can you see you on there?
I can see me.
I don't know.
But I'm trying to center myself here. And,
All right. So our chat
got the
room
little thing up here.
says welcome, Sergio. Sergio, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Somebody in the chat room just said, "What are your breathing exercises? What do you do?" with your breathing?
You know what? He taught me some basic things. Basically, there's a countdown. So I
Yeah.
breathe outwards, do the long breathing for like maybe 30 breaths.
Wow.
And then I blow it out and try to hold it as long as I can. And then at the end of it, when I'm ready to breathe back in, you kind of squeeze and get it all out. So it's like your whole body tenses up and you get more oxygen to your entire body.
So it's sort of like
it works for me,
tension and
man.
then release.
Yes. And then we do, sometimes we go to the sauna. We have the cold water pool. And we do breathing there too. And the cold pool and the sauna. So
Oh my
it's
God.
a whole process. I'll do that like maybe once a week. And that's
That's
really
cool.
refreshing. It's amazing. You get a little lightheaded, so you got to be careful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
You know that.
So-
Okay, so
Huh?
I want to get down to this because this is called lunch therapy, and
Okay.
we do some hack therapy on this show. And so I want to get down to business here and really crack open your skull and see what's in there,
all right.
because I know there's a lot
Not a
going
whole
on
lot.
in there.
A lot of
Okay,
peanuts in
so
there.
tell me about your parents. What were your
My
parents like?
parents. Oh wow, man! My parents. Well, I didn't know my dad well. He left when
Yeah.
I was 2,
Mhm.
but that was rough growing up. It was kind of,
Yeah,
because he's a child. You start wondering, was it my fault? Whatever. But
yeah.
probably we spoke before he passed, and I was supposed to go see him in England. Both my parents are Jamaican,
Oh wow.
and
Yeah.
they migrated to England, and then at some point, 9 years old, that's when I moved to New York City. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, my dad is probably one of the greatest men I've ever spoken to. I mean,
Really?
just a wow. It was so fulfilling to finally connect with him, and man, sweetest, gentle, kindest
How
man
did you
I ever spoke
connect to
to.
him after all those
I
years?
I just made my way to, because my mom, I didn't understand what their relationship was. She was really
Yeah.
heartbroken from it. Um, so I had to take it upon myself. My aunt always kept in touch with my favorite aunt always kept, and his sister kept in
Yeah.
touch with, obviously it's his sister. And then
Yeah.
I finally, because she used to always say things and I would just ignore it. And then I just said, you know what? I was traveling around the world a lot at the time. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I got to talk to this man and see what's going on. And
Wow.
it was the greatest conversation I think I've ever had in my life. We spoke several times. Unfortunately, he was on my mind. He got sick.
Mm-hmm.
And well, actually, no, he went to the hospital for a checkup. He
Hmm.
was fine.
Yeah.
And my stepsister called me. It was like, yeah, they're gonna keep him overnight for some reason, and he never left. Yeah.
Oh,
2 days
that's
later, that was it.
heartbreaking. What do you
That
think
was it.
happened?
Yeah.
What do you think happened?
I have no idea. He just went in, and he just didn't walk out. I mean, it's still a mystery.
God,
Nobody knows. So it was really,
that's terrible.
uh, that really blew me away. I was just, just the irony of it all. All
Yeah.
your life, and you finally start, connecting with, someone you love, and then bam, they're gone, just like that. So
Well, at
it
least you
makes
did.
me
At least you
realize
did.
how precious the moments are. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You really have to keep an open heart and realize how precious the moments are, and that this life isn't just about you. It's about, it's not just about the people you love. It's about the people who love you too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So
So 9 years
go.
old, you moved to New York City. You said that was another story. What is that?
Oh
What happened?
man, you talk about a culture shock, man. That was crazy, man. Because I moved to New York, I didn't know nothing. But the only good thing about me was I was a chameleon. I could adjust to my environment. So
Yeah.
this was like, I'm an old dude, man. So I was there when hip hop was born, and
Really?
this is the crazy part.
Yeah.
Uh, the kids, this was like fourth grade. And this dude was like, "Hey man, you talk funny, man. You talk funny." And I'm like, he's like, "Where you from?" And I go, "I'm from England, mate." And he's
Yeah.
like,
Did
he
you
goes,
talk
"You
like
ain't from
that
no
back then?
England,
Did you talk like that when
huh?"
you were 9 years old? You had
Yeah,
like a real
yeah, yeah. I
British
have a full
accent?
British accent. I
Oh
was
my
like, "I'm
God,
from
that's great.
England," and he goes,
That's great.
"Ain't no black people from England." I'm like, "Wow." And then uh, he goes, "You from England, huh?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Is that in London?" I go, "Forget it, mate. Forget it. Just forget it." But growing up in New York was crazy, man. Because I was always a good kid, always.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I knew some of the bad boys, So if anybody came, it was like a movie. Like somebody tried to bully me, and then me not knowing my buddy's behind me,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, and then the guy just walks away, and I'm like, "Yeah, mate, you better watch your back, mate." Not even knowing my voice was behind me. I had a great experience in New York, man. I met some incredible friends. New York, when you meet a friend, you got a friend for life. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's
That's
just
cool.
that kind of, I think it's New York because of the seasons. You're
Hmm.
forced to be inside with people, so you really
Yeah.
get to know people. Like here on the West Coast, you're kind of out and about, always moving, and but like the winters there, you really get to know people because it's freezing
Yeah.
outside. Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
maybe that may have a little to do with it. But
Yep.
God, I could tell you some New York stories that are just unbelievable. I live
What,
right by Yankee
yeah.
Stadium,
You did.
so Yankees. Yeah, I live like a block away. So there was one year. Look how old I am. Uh, Reggie Jackson made a home run, and I ran outside the door to see if I can get to the stadium to find the ball because it was that close, like a block and a half away.
Were you a Yankees
Uh,
fan or are you still a
oh
Yankees
yeah,
fan?
yeah, I was a Yankees
Yeah.
fan.
You've
You
been in
had to go
so
to
many
the game.
different
I lived in
places.
the
I mean,
neighborhood.
what
Yeah.
okay, so what made you move to Los Angeles like you did like when you were older or what happened?
Oh, my sister used to live in California, so I used to come out like every month or so, and I
Yeah.
started enjoying it. And then It was the funniest thing, man. I started, because I wasn't doing anything, and my sister was like, why don't you try to do some extra work? She remind you of Oprah. Still has a British accent a little bit,
Really?
and she's like, why don't you try some extra work? And I was like, why not? I mean, just give it a
Yeah.
shot. And we what ended up happening, I started doing some extra work, and then I remember being on a movie Volcano. Remember that one?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Volcano.
Volcano.
And there was a comedian on the set named Cosmo. I'll never forget him. And he had a deep voice. He talked like a radio host. Really cool
Yeah.
dude. And I used to always crack people up on the set. And I used to always say, no, I'm just funny here. I could never be, in front of a crowd, because my biggest fear was public speaking. Like, if I talk to
It
three people,
was.
I'd just start sweating. You know what I mean?
Really? Yeah.
So Cosmo was like, hey, man, you know what? You should try, a coffee shop or whatever. Just, try some comedy. And I never forget, I went to this coffee shop on Venice Boulevard, and it was all these, open micers. I was so nervous. I got the punchline first, and then the rest of the joke later. And I was like sitting there,
like backwards.
I felt so defeated in the sense, because my nervousness, and this guy in a trench coat. I never forgot I don't remember his name. He walks up to me, big guy in a trench coat. He used to always wear a trench coat, and he was an open micer. And he goes, man, I don't know what it is about you, man, but just keep doing this, man. Just keep doing this.
Wow.
You're gonna be big, right? And I'm like,
that's
really?
awesome.
And that was the boost that I needed to.
Sometimes it just takes that, like one person to say something like that, and you're like off to the races.
It was almost kind of like light shined over me. It was like, like some angelic light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just continued, and then I got to the Comedy Store. And the Comedy Store, I performed there about 4 times in the belly room. And then they moved it down to the original room.
Yeah.
And that's when the magic happened, man. I'd only been doing comedy, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? And somehow nobody was in the room. There was only this little old lady and Eddie Griffin sitting in the corner, and maybe 4 people in the front.
Was this potluck, or was this like a potluck thing in the belly room? Remember,
yeah,
they you'd go there, they put their names in a hat, and then they'd post a list. Is that what you were doing? Yeah.
It was, but they had moved it to the original room downstairs to a big
right,
room.
it was in the original room, right? Yeah, I think that I used to live across the street and did stand up there like at that time. And I would go and I'd sign up, and they'd put the names in the hat, and then they put the list up, and then you see where you're going, and then I would go back home because I was just across the street. And then I'd come back, and sometimes like somebody, a comedian would come in and just like Seinfeld or something like that, and then it just bump everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it was.
That's
I remember those days. But you got up on stage in the belly room, and there was this old lady there, and she was like,
"No, not in the belly room."
Yeah. In the original.
For like a week, two Sundays I was there, and I think I got bumped once, and then they moved it to the original.
Yeah.
And then wow,
we got some wind.
What happened?
I don't know. It sounds like you're getting hit by the hurricane over there.
Wow. Okay.
You're in Las Vegas.
I'll tell the truth. No. Anyway, so what ended up happening was
so you're in the. I'm sorry, I interrupted your whole thing with my own thing. You're in the original room. You're doing stand up. There's somebody there's hardly anybody there, and there's one lady.
There's
in the
hardly
back.
anybody there. Eddie Griffin's in the back and sitting next to this old lady, and I just do this thing. Whatever was on my mind. I did this thing. I did an impression of Sammy Davis. I did the Rat Pack on Death Row Records.
Oh wow!
And little did I know that was my end, because sitting next to Eddie Griffin was Mitzi Shore.
Mitzi Shore,
and she,
the owner of
she was married to Sammy
comedy
Shore,
store.
the owner of the comedy store. She was married to Sammy Shore, and Sammy Shore used to open for Elvis. So she, she kind of obviously she knew all the old school Sinatra, all those guys. Because she had a comedy store in Vegas at the what hotel was it? She had a comedy store there.
Really, I didn't know about that. Really?
Yeah, and then the mob tried to get her to put machines in her club, and she was like, "No, I'm not doing
She didn't want
that."
to. Really? She didn't want to.
She's very strong-minded when she comes to. Nobody tells her what to do. She does it.
Yeah.
Whatever she does it her way. So
That's correct.
they just,
Bloss.
I don't know if they ran around the town, but that was the beginning of the end for her.
Bloss, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Bloss is on the
Bloss
screen
is
for
here?
some reason.
Bloss is here.
You know Bloss?
Hi, Bloss.
Oh my God, you guys know each other?
Me and Bloss go back like Cadillac seats, man. What's up,
Really?
Bleezy.
Oh no, I can't hear Bloss. Bloss, unmute yourself. Oh, he's muted.
I was
there he is.
I was putting on my makeup.
Oh, good.
You so small, Bloss. You look tiny.
What happened to you, Bloss?
You look tiny. You're just
What do
in
you
the
mean?
middle there. Just boop your nose. Boop.
Wait a minute. I look tiny.
He's so cute down there. Oh, look at him.
Godzilla.
Hey,
Anyway,
Bloss,
how you doing,
I got this great idea for you guys. I'm gonna let you two take over the show, and I'm gonna let Bloss continue the interview, and then I'll come back in.
What?
You really gonna let the fox in the
Yeah, I'm gonna let him do it. I know. I'm
Okay.
telling you, Boney and I are gonna be watching.
Where are you going?
Let's bring it down, dude.
Boney's cool.
He's
Boney's
cool. Everybody's cool with it. All right, here we go. Interview Friday, part 2.
Oh, okay. Where we going?
What the? I don't know. Space. Interview Friday, part 2.
Right.
And we're back.
It's all you guys.
So after band.
Look at you. What's up, Sergio Love?
What? What's up? What's going on, Bleezy? What's happening? Crash your head. Crash
Look at you,
your head.
man.
Crash your head. What's up, dude? What's going on, baby?
It's so good. It's so good
I'm
to
out
see
here
you.
in
Look
Vegas,
at you,
man. I'm out here in Vegas.
I'm just
doing,
excited, man. I was so excited. When he told me
I'm
that you were going to come on the show, I was like, no, you mean Sergio Love, the stand-up, the actor, Sergio Love. I said, no. I said, no.
Yeah.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him about me. Don't tell him. Don't tell him about me.
Man.
I won't come on the show. Let
I'm
you guys
glad
just
to
talk
see
and stuff like that. Just let me know while I'm back here doing my thing. Let me know what's up. And then he throws me into the fire or in the water.
Still in the water.
In the water.
Yeah.
We're in the water right now. We're in the water right now.
Earlier.
How you feeling, man? Man, dude.
That's awesome. I'm good, man. I'm out here just doing a little public work. Hey, bitch, where's my money? What? Get yours. Oh. Yeah, I'm just doing some public work out here for,
you're doing community service, huh? You're doing
for the people. I'm doing community service for the people. Get my money.
Yeah. I know how you do
just
it.
Just doing a little bit of that.
It reminds me of the community service you used to do back here in Hollywood, like community service you used to do.
Oh, man,
like when you used to go feed the people and bring food to people. You was that dude that we'd go eat and you'd order something and then take it outside and give it to somebody else. I was like, Serge, we ain't got no money.
Yeah.
Man. How you giving food?
Yeah, man.
You can't just give food to folk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
used to
like to bring my food outside and then eat it in front of them and just watch them lick the plate. No.
Yeah.
No, Blas, you know how we are. We're the same people, man. We people lovers, man. I love people. It hurts my heart to even see homeless people, bro. You know what I mean? And when I can, I try to help. And that's what we got to do, man. We I think one of the most other than I know they're gonna want money or food and stuff. I try to feed people sometimes, but even if you give somebody a bottle of water, man, that's such a golden thing to give them. You know what I mean? It's water.
Yeah.
Like, what's more precious than water? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, here in LA, they be at the freeway entrances.
Huh?
Here in LA, they be at the freeway entrances and stuff, the exits.
Yeah.
And I always have bottled water in my car.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I always have bottled water in my car, and if I haven't drunk out of it yet, I'll always toss one up. You know what I mean? It's like you. Dude. You know how sometimes you try to give somebody something, they be like, "I don't want no food, man. Some money." I'd be like, "Damn."
Oh yeah.
I got an attitude for it, man. I'm just trying to help you out, you know.
Dude,
but when you have somebody a bottle of water, it's always.
Yeah. Always.
Man, thank you, man.
It's the most gracious
thing. And then I'm watching him. He turns around. He puts a bottle of water down to next to 10 other bottle waters. And I go,
he's good.
My man's hydrated, man. Hey, my man's hydrated. I like it.
I got a bottle of water for $1. Water for $1.
He's good for it. Now he's selling bottled water for $1. Oh man, if I saw that, I'd have to take a picture of that. That was a classic.
Hey, one time, bro, I was so mad. I mean, when you're young, this is my 20s, right? I'm in Atlanta, and you know how you got like a bunch of change, like dimes and nickels and pennies and quarters. So I got out the car. I was in front of Magic City. Me and my boys were going in there. This homeless dude. So I reach in, I grab a handful of change, right?
Yeah,
and I
that's
walked
like
up to him
$5.
and I go, hey man, here you go. And he put his hands out. And he looked. And he goes, oh man, you could take this back. Man, I chased that dude for 10 blocks. 10 blocks, bro. He was around the car like, man, come on, stop. No, I was just playing.
You're like, you better take my change. You better take my change, man. You better take my change.
All the way down the block. Oh, I was so pissed. That was so funny.
He turned down
Came
some
back
money
sweating, shoes all scuffed up. I'm like, oh man, that dude.
He turned down some money because it was jingling. Dude,
it was crazy. It was just, it was Atlanta. Atlanta was, God, that was a crazy town, man. I got
what about Louisiana?
Atlanta.
What about Louisiana?
God.
Wow, what about Louisiana, man?
I think
how about that
when
one?
we were, okay, we got to let everybody know. We were down in Louisiana shooting a movie. What the hell were we shooting? What's the name of it? Damn, we forgot the name of the movie. Spring Break '83. Man, we went down there together, me and Blas, and a couple of other buddies, Nick, Mars. Mars was producing and directing the movie.
Hey,
we were there for 3. We laughed the entire time. Every day we laughed. We did
non-stop.
Crazy stuff.
You know why? Because we were bunking together. That's why we were bunking together. You can't be bunking with 5 funny dudes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a mess. We had so much
poker
fun
every night,
and laughing even from our rooms. We were yelling at each other.
Oh, we were wilding out. Oh man, when we had that big food fight, dude, that was scary.
Oh, that was mad. That was a bad idea.
Team. You were on my team because you were my roommate. So it was us against them, and it was another group, was it?
Oh,
or was it just
now
us?
that I think about it, wait a minute. It was the brown folk versus the white folk. Now that I think about it.
Pretty much.
It was me and you against them?
Hey, this is the irony of it all. The place we were staying was called the Plantation. You remember that? That's crazy, right?
You know how bad it was for me, bro? Because it was on a golf course, right? We were on a golf course.
It's called
the Plantation. And it didn't even click to me when we were there. I was just so excited to be in Louisiana. You remember? I grabbed a homie. We played a round of golf. Remember? He told me he could play some golf. I go, all right. Oh, you can play? You sure you can play? He goes, yeah, I can play. So we get out there to go play. And man, dude, I mean, it was such a flat ground. Thank God there wasn't no big trees and no hills because I was looking for his ball the entire 9 holes.
Dude, I don't even know you guys play golf out there because remember everywhere was soggy. Like it's all swampy. So like if you walk on the grass, it's gonna be soggy. So I don't know how was it? Was it like that?
Well, we were on the Plantation, so it was medium. It was dry. Remember when it was hot, it was dry. But when it was humid, it was a little bit wet. So the balls were different.
Hey guys,
every day. And then hey.
I want to hear more about the Comedy Store thing. I mean, I want to hear about how wet the grass was at that movie thing that you guys were doing. But I mean, that's like it's high on my list. But I want to hear a little bit more about your experience at the Comedy Store because. You were playing like 6 nights a week and you became a regular there. Is that right?
Yeah. I was playing almost every night. I played the Mitzi gave me my own show in the belly room, so I was doing that. I was doing the main
You had your own show?
So yeah, I had my own show for years, man. I always had a show on Sunset Strip, and then people would come to my show. Dice, Jamie Kennedy, everybody. Who else would come? Eddie Griffin would come to my shows. I actually started doing
Eddie Griffin.
Show
Eddie Griffin
Tommy,
was a big fan.
Tommy Davidson came in one night.
Eddie's cool. Eddie's cool
yeah,
as
he's
shit.
Very cool.
He's the one.
Very cool.
He's
man.
the one, dude. He's
one
of those guys that he lifts.
He's the guy that saw me.
If you're funny.
Yeah, he's the guy that saw me. Was like, he's like told Mitzi, this dude he's the one who gave the seal of approval on me becoming a regular at the Comedy Store. So that was pretty cool of him. Yeah. He was like, because he's called me Bolo.
He was sitting in the booth with her, right? He was sitting in the booth with her that day.
Yeah. He used to call me Bolo
like,
from
hey, you got to get this guy on, man. He's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was cool.
Really?
He's always been very cool with me. I've always enjoyed
How did that
Eddie's
work
company.
back then when you became a regular? Like, how hard was it to become a regular, and then what
It
happened
was
after that?
extremely hard to become a regular. Usually you have to be recommended by another comedian to become a regular.
Yeah.
But I knew nobody. I didn't know anybody. So when I first did my first 3 minutes,
Yeah.
Mitzi called me to the back. I didn't know who she was. And she was
Yeah.
saying, hey, she talks like this, And she's like, it's going to take a while for you to become a regular, but if you just keep working the door, maybe one day you'll get an opportunity to be a comedian. So I was very thankful. I was walking on cloud nine. Went home and she's like, come back for 6 minutes. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay. So I came back and I did 6 minutes. Went to the back, thanked her again. And she was like, oh, that was great. Yeah, that was great. Come back for 10 minutes. And that was it. I
Really?
came back,
It was on.
walked out
It
the
was
10
on.
minutes, and then I go, Mitzi, thank you so much for letting me, perform and everything. And she's like, good, you're a regular now. I'm like, what?
Wow, that's like super fast, too.
My mind.
Yeah.
I think it was within 2 weeks I became a regular at the Comedy Store.
It's got to be like a record.
Bro,
Man, yeah, I think so.
That's unprecedented, bro. That's unprecedented.
Yeah, that
You know how
doesn't
many
happen.
Comedians, I mean,
I don't
even me,
think.
I was there at one point, and I was standing around
Yeah.
going, how the hell are you ever going to get a spot up in here? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know
It
what's
is.
so
It's-
crazy? The Comedy Store used to be a very dark place. Like, if the comedians are amazing, but it's a very dark environment, off stage, amongst the
Yeah.
comedians.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the regulars wouldn't talk to the open micers. You know what I mean? I changed a lot of that when I got it. But
Yeah.
and you had to be recommended. So what some of the comedians would do was, when Mitzi's watching you, they would come and grab her attention and distract her, so
Yeah.
you would get no
Oh,
love on
sure.
stage. And I remember there was one particular
Wow.
comedian. I would just say his name is Brian. He was doing that. I don't know if he was doing it purposely. And I saw her in the back push him out the way, because my show
Really?
was like high energy. So
Yeah.
I didn't give the audience time to take a break or look somewhere else. It was like high energy. I get off stage sweating, and
Yeah.
that's what.
You were
sealed the
doing
deal.
like 6 days a week, right? I mean, you were doing like every
I was
night.
doing 7 days every single night, man. I made sure my work ethic was crazy. I did at least 21, 22 shows a week, no matter where it was. I did
21
that many
shows a week. So you'd be like
At
other
least.
clubs too, same night.
Other clubs all around town, whoever had a place. I'd even do open mics. You know what I mean?
How
Even though I
did
was a
you-
regular,
yeah,
people
of
were like, what
course.
are you doing here?
But-
And I'd just be like, I just came to work out.
Just doing your thing.
But that's
Did
but
you-
that's,
what-
but that's the
yeah.
hustle, dude. But that's the hustle
Yeah.
at stand up. If you're not doing it every night, you're not.
You got to
doing
get
Yeah,
some
yeah.
stage
Yeah.
time.
You got to put the work in. You have to
It
see
would get
different
to the
audiences.
point-
You got to be in different rooms. You got to see different people. You know what I mean? You got to
There
just keep
there was no
grinding
days
it out.
off. There was no days
Mhm.
off because I loved it. So if I did have a day off, I would get so anxious. I would have anxiety because I felt like I needed. It was, for me, it was like therapy. Like it was. It's like breathing. I couldn't live without it. It was in my blood. I loved it, and I did it all the time.
It is a very addictive and a very high, exhilarating, endorphin running
Yeah.
thing to do. You know what I mean?
I'll
Especially for a
never
stand-up
forget-
comic, you're sharing everything
What?
about your life and about experiences.
Yeah.
So it's very. I think it's very therapeutic. Like some of the greats are, you know all about
I'll
them.
never-
You feel like you know them. You know.
I'll never forget what you said, Blas, because we had a mutual friend. It was our buddy Shabazz, but I would always see
Yeah.
Blas in certain places and other comedy places and stuff, but we didn't really know each other that well at the
Right,
time.
right.
We were getting to know each other, and because you would come over and then I'd be like, "Yo, what's up?" And I'll never forget. I think you were with your. I think you were with your wife at the time, I believe. Who were you with? I can't remember who you were with. But you were. I got off stage, and you came up to me, and you go, "Man, it's weird. It's weird. I can't stop watching you, like when you're on stage." Remember you said that to me?
I remember that. You know where we were at? I'll
Yeah.
tell you exactly where we were at. We were at
Dublin's.
Dublin's. We were at
Dublin's.
Dublin's, and you were in a show. Check this out, bro. Like
Yeah.
we had been in the same room a couple times, you know, like, and it's interesting
Yeah.
because I think it was the first time I met you, I was at your crib and Boz was there. Our buddy, we're talking about
Yeah.
your Boz, right? And he was
Yeah.
there, and
Boz.
you were in your room. I think you guys were roommates. That's right. At the time, you were roommates, and you were in your room,
Yeah.
and we were outside drinking some brews and stuff, you know, probably smoking up. And then he was like, "Yeah, man, be cool, man. My roommate, man. He's like, you know, he's kind of intense and shit, man. Don't be talking to him, making him ask a lot of questions and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, be cool, man, when he comes out, man." And I was like, "What are we in high school? What's happening right now, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this guy gonna come out here and try to be like fucking a big man on campus and like, what are you doing in my living room?" Shit. I was like, "Man, whatever, man." And then you came out. When you came out, we were sitting up. Me and Butterbean, we were sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
You came out, and I was sitting there waiting for you to say something stupid. He was like, "Hey, what's up, fellas? What's up, man? What's happening? What's cracking?"
Yeah.
He came in, and
We
shook
hit it
hands
off
with us
right
and
away.
everything.
Right away.
And Bean and I looked at each other like, what happened just now? This cat's hella cool and shit. What's up?
Oh man.
So that was a couple of times, like you said, a couple of times.
Oh.
Then I went to Dublin. I went to Dublin's. I was invited to Dublin's to go. My wife's, one of my wife's best friends, her sister was dating Lonzo Bowden. That's who it was. Lonzo Bowden. Lonzo Bowden.
I didn't know that.
Lonzo Bowden, the guy who won last comic standing.
Alonzo, yeah.
She invited us to go see Alonzo, right?
Alonzo Bowden.
So at the Dublins, and I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Jay Davis was one of his.
Jay Davis. It was Jay Davis's
like
night. Yeah.
Right. I'm almost positive. I'm almost positive. And we saw a couple of dudes come up, and then you came up, and dude, you wrecked it, bro. I was watching. I go, babe, I know this guy. I said, I know this dude. I'm telling you, I know him. And you started talking and everything. I go, oh man, that's Sergio Love, because I didn't hear your intro. And I go, that's Sergio Love. I go, I was just at his house like 3-4 days ago.
Yeah.
Having some brews. And she goes, shh, be quiet. And I go, oh damn, all right. And dude, you lit it up, dude. You were doing, you were so animated. And you know, remember the stage was kind of kitty corner? It was kind of like,
it was a
like
booth.
Triangular,
It was a booth
like a diamond.
that they put wood down. It was an actual booth.
Right.
Yeah.
In front of the seats.
The seats
there.
out. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Man, you were shredding, and I'll tell you, you were shredding, dude. You were killing it. We were cracking up. You were doing characters. You're doing voices. You told this one quick story. Oh man, I can't remember it right now. Man, see, back then we didn't have them phones where we could shoot you and record you.
I want to hear.
Yeah.
So Sergio was killing it, right?
So check.
Yeah.
So check this out. So then Alonzo goes up.
Yeah.
And then I think Dane Cook went up. Either Dane Cook was last or Alonzo was last. But we were there to see Alonzo.
Alonzo was last.
And bro, from Sergio to that dude, all three of them, they killed the night, dude. We were cracking up all night. They shredded it, dude.
I was the only one that would love to go after Dane Cook. I would love to go after Dane Cook because it was, but people were afraid to. Nobody wanted to go up after him because he sucked the energy out the room. He was moving. But it was funny though, because you know why, bro? I didn't know much about either of the three of you. The three of you, I didn't know much about. And the ironic part is, you and I started getting close and hanging out because we were always talking shop. And then Lonzo went on to win last comic standing, and Dane Cook went on to blow up. He blew up on MySpace. Yeah, he blew up on MySpace, and then he went on the tour, and you remember he got his specials and stuff like that. I remember all that. And I was like sitting there going, he had it on.
I was sitting there going, yeah.
I remember Alonzo Bowden. Hey, how you doing?
All right, we got somebody out the window. Blast, I want to find out.
I'm doing an interview.
I want to find out, but from Sergio.
I'm sorry, Dom.
What happened, like when he left? Like what, Sergio? I want to find out. Like you were like, oh, he's talking to somebody.
Thank you.
He's trying to make some money, man.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I'm in a parking lot at this company. I was just at UFC, but Dad was telling me
they're asking you to leave.
Property, and I was like, I'm doing an interview. He's like, oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, good. I want to find out, like, what happened that you left, comedy for a while. Like, what happened?
Oh gosh, that's a very loaded question. There was so much going on in my life. There was so much, man. And then, I tell you what happened. I'll give you a short version of it.
Yeah.
I basically burnt out. I've been doing, like I said, I was doing it that much. I was just every day. And auditioning, and it kind of all just got to me, and got to a point where I didn't find anything funny at all. I'd watch some of my favorite shows or try to watch them, and I just did not find anything funny. It was crazy, And I was like,
You know what?
man,
You know
okay,
what? You know what,
I'm
Serge?
in a
Let me say
dangerous
something, Serge.
place.
Let me say something. Let me say something, Serge. I think
Yeah,
that the traveling, you were doing so much international traveling.
yeah.
Remember when we left for that movie, when we did that movie, that was 30 days, dude. That movie also, it took time out of me. It kind of took
Yeah,
me
yes.
wonky. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It kind of twisted me up. I remember I came back and I was like, man, like what's happening right now? It was like to leave for that long and then come
Yeah.
back and try to get back in your regular system. It was, for me, it was
Yeah.
tough. And for you, I remember talking to you, I think around that time, and I
Hmm.
think you were doing so much traveling that you weren't doing stand up. That when you, like you
Well,
said, when you had the opportunity to come back and do it, it was so sparse. You know what I mean? Like you were
well,
doing,
also,
you were you
I
were
don't know
you
if
were
you
only doing a few
remember.
nights a week. I remember talking to you. You're
Yeah.
only doing a few nights a week, and I was going, "What's happening here? Like the motor's slowing down. Like like you
Well,
said, maybe you're
I'll
burned
get
out."
to
I
the
want to hear
You
crux of
know?
it.
Sergio's
I wasn't going to
take on it.
discuss
What
it, but
happened?
I wasn't going to discuss it, but the main thing that my main breakdown was my mom. We didn't
I
know
know.
what was wrong with her, and
Oh,
she had early stages of Alzheimer's.
hmm.
So my sister was taking care of her for a while, and then I just had to just drop everything to go take care
Yeah,
of my mom. So I did
yeah,
that,
that happens.
and that was for she was in Orange County for a while, and for a while I was trying to zoom back and forth and try to do this, and I realized I needed more time to spend with her because you can't leave her in the house alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah, they
it got
need
to
they
that
need.
point. That was
Wow.
very draining for me. That
Hmm.
really kind of put me in a weird place because my mom comes first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Family
and then
first. Family first.
everything else wasn't as important to me. But when it came back, it wasn't the same. It was weird. Then before that happened, uh, right after that happened, uh, my sister started taking care of my mom,
Yeah.
and then there was a day that I woke up and I go, I quit.
Hmm.
Right, the minute I said I quit, my phone rings,
Yeah.
and it's my buddy
Oh, that was interesting.
Nick Mal,
Uh-huh.
right?
Nick,
Yeah.
And
right,
Nick
Mal?
Mal,
Right, Mal?
he's Nick Mal does pretty well for himself. He was a self-made millionaire and all that stuff. So he calls me and he goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I quit." He's like, "What do you mean you quit?" He's like, "You're one of the best comedians ever. What do you mean?" I'm like, "Dude, I just don't have a life. I quit." He goes, "Man, that's messed up." I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm going to Brazil." I'll go, "I want to go." And he goes, "Too bad you can't go because you need a visa." I said, "I don't need a visa. I have a British passport." He goes, "No, no shit." He goes, "Okay, I'll call you back in 45 minutes." Calls me back in 45 minutes. He's like, "Look, we got 2 first-class tickets to Brazil." We were gone. We were we were in the air and overseas forever. I can't remember
Wow.
how long we were gone, but I was working for him for a bit, and I spent a lot of time just overseas traveling with him and his guys. So that was
And
fun
that's
for
what I
Wow.
was
me.
talking.
I had a good time.
So
Uh,
that's what I was talking to us about. You were doing so many other things other than doing stand up every
I was
night. You
doing
know what I mean?
a
And then I remember
lot
you
of
coming back.
things.
I remember you coming
Yeah,
back and not doing it as often. And we were
I
talking
was.
about that. Remember then? Then you
I
had
was
the
very
idea.
spun around. I didn't. You know what it was? I got to a place where it was almost like, okay, Sergio Love. It was like Drew Nelson's my real name.
Mhm.
But my real name was Sergio Love. I did change it, and then I
You
had to
did.
change it back because I was getting heat from. I was dealing with the IRS and stuff, and I was like, "This is too much red tape," so I just
Yeah.
changed it back. But oh shoot, where was I? Um, oh, so it was a battle between Sergio Love and Drew Nelson, like the real, and something happens in Hollywood where you you don't know what's the real side and what's not real.
Hmm.
It's kind of
Yeah,
hard to
what's fake?
explain.
What's real?
Do you
You
mean
got
as
people
far as
pulling on you.
yourself or the people outside of you? Do you
The
mean the
people,
environment?
all my friends, like, were. It's hard to explain. You have to keep up this persona,
Yeah.
and there's no feeling down. There's no, and people just know you as this, and you're always the life of the party, and people just want you here, and they want you there, and it was too much for me. And plus, I had a lot of people's secrets. I knew people on the high end, I knew people on the
Oh
low
shit.
end. and I had people's secrets. And it was weird. I'd see people, and they wouldn't say it, but it was like, "Hey, Serge, how you doing?" You know what I mean?
Jeez.
I had
Yeah.
too many secrets. I was going crazy. I was going insane.
I remember we were eating at a restaurant one time, and some people
Yeah.
walked in, and some people, whatever, and they
I had
looked
a
over at
very
us, and they looked over at you, and they looked at you, and their face went like this, their face went like that, and then
Yeah.
you looked at me, and then looked back at them, and they were like, and then they started walking towards their table, and you looked at me, and I go, like,
I would.
that is uncomfortable.
I don't even know if I could tell this story.
The funniest shit.
You know what? I'm going to
Yeah.
tell this story.
Let's hear the story.
I was at the Comedy Store.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very dear friend of mine that I grew up with, right? But you know, he's on the other side of life. You know, he's kind of like spent half his life in prison, but he's one of the sweetest, nicest guys I know. But he's no joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we grew up together, so we have that. You know, we have that closeness. That's my buddy.
Yeah.
And I just finished doing a show at the Comedy Store. And great show, had a good time. And then he calls me. He's like, "Yo, where you at?" I said, "I just finished doing a show." And he was right next door at the Hyatt, that big hotel next door.
Oh, yeah.
The Hyatt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go in there. He's like, I need you to come upstairs right now. I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "Dude, just come upstairs." I came up and I heard yelling in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with his girlfriend, because she was waiting for me in the lobby, I go upstairs. I hear yelling in the room and a knock on the door. And I walk in, and there's these goons standing around the bed, and he's arguing with them. These dudes are like, they got sub-automatic shit on them.
Whoa!
And there's these duffel bags piled up to the roof. And I'm like, and they're still arguing. Like, it looked like something was going to happen. And I'm like, guys. And they're yelling. And I'm like, guys. And they finally look at me and I go, I got to go. I turned yellow. I turned yellow.
God.
I'm like, what I went down to Mel's Diner and I was just sitting there. I just like staring at the wall, like, what just happened? What was that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I thought my life was over. Like, why would
it's like in a movie? It's like straight out of a movie.
It was like something. The only thing I can compare it to was, remember True Romance?
Yeah.
That end scene. It was something close to that. But these guys were no joke. These guys were oh shoot, were they not Nigerian? They were these guys were I can't remember what they are. They're Haitian.
Really?
These guys were Haitian, bro, and they were into that voodoo crazy shit, and I was just like, I'd known them from doing shows because they were like always saying, "Hey, nice show," but I didn't know what they were about.
Wow,
that was
that's
crazy.
Heavy, man. That's heavy.
I couldn't believe it. I still haven't forgave him for putting me in that.
Okay, so
right into that.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's just one story. I'm sorry to be so dark.
Well, no, that's an incredible story. I want to know, what would you have done something differently, or were you happy to leave the entertainment industry? Do you feel like you have unfinished business there?
If it wasn't for my mom, I think I would have went a lot further. And she's doing it right now. I mean, she doesn't talk, but the hardest part was not knowing what was wrong with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she finally got diagnosed, and we're like, oh, okay, all right, now we know what we're dealing with. You know, so that was really. Cause my mom was my ace in the hole. Me and my mom, we did, whenever she had time from work, we're gone. Me and her, we'll come to Vegas, or we'll go, somewhere vacation, Louisiana or Tennessee. Yeah, we just go, get in the car and just go. You know what I mean? So she's very, my mom is very dear to me. So, So
do you have a desire
but the question
now?
But the question was, how do you feel? Do you feel like you have unfinished business? Do you feel like Yeah.
Do you have a desire now?
I do have unfinished business, but the way that the things are not, you still have the censorship. That was another thing I always said. I was always telling comedians. I said, listen, the censorship is coming down, and we're gonna have some problems. I always said that.
You knew it was coming.
And right
Yeah, I
after I
remember.
left the Comedy Store, I think Hillary Clinton had sent some goons down to the Laugh Factory, and they were like, anybody says anything about Bruce Jenner or her, will probably won't be able to work in this town again. That's a
Whoa.
true story. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Man,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
some
yeah.
fuck.
So
Who
since
does that? Who
since
does
you
that? What
got
is this? The 1940s?
so
Some
so
fucking bullshit.
where I'm at now is the good thing is that you can kind of control your own media.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait on the industry in order to do something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So now that's where I'm at now. I'm just trying to figure it out and I'm trying to figure out where I stand and what am I
Yeah.
really saying? Like what's my message? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But I love
Yeah.
comedy. I love making people laugh. There's nothing
Oh my
more
god.
uh, nothing more exhilarating. Nothing more. It's like feeding people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's.
It's good for people. I mean, to laugh.
The
Really
immediate
good for people.
I tell you one
the
thing.
immediate
Something happened in
gratification
Comedy
though
Store
too.
that
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
so bizarre.
Tell
One
us.
time, I was
Yeah.
doing the Comedy Store and it was late at night. It was around. It was after midnight, and there was like maybe 10, 15 people in the crowd. Because all the other guys had gone over their time, so I was at the end of the list. And I go out there and I do it. I always play an empty room like it's packed. You know what I mean?
You
I
have
Yeah.
to.
always
Come on, you have to.
fill the room with energy. And then this guy, I do the show and I'm sweating. This guy
Mhm.
comes up to me, shakes my hand. He's kind of just staring at me, and I'm kind of standing there, like, and he looks at me and he goes, "You know what? Tonight I was gonna kill myself." And he's like, "After I saw your show, it just changed everything. So I want to thank you." I didn't know what to do with myself. I was standing there like, "What?" Like, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
What do you
reacted
say? What could you say
calmly,
to
but
someone like that?
inside I'm like, "What?" Like I was going crazy in my head.
Yeah.
Like, is this for
Yeah.
real? I was waiting for the guy to go, just kidding. But he was like, no, thank you. I just really want to thank you. He held my hand, he gave me a hug, and then he was gone. And it blew me away. I'm
Yeah.
like, can you just the fact you can affect someone's life like that? Like, wow. You know?
And for
So,
them to share it, you know. Sometimes people
yeah,
don't share it. They don't express themselves.
yeah.
You know, they just
Yeah.
walk
That
Think
out
was
the
about all the
room.
people that
very,
you did that didn't say something to you. That you affected.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So are you? So
This
yeah.
is
Go
the
ahead.
good one. Here's the
Yeah.
good one. I was doing I was doing this rap thing, and on stage I was doing some other kind of rap, maybe the Rat Pack and something else. And the guy had his hat on like down like this, and he's smoking a cigar, and he was in the back, and there's like a red light in the very back. It almost looks like a coat closet
Yeah.
behind the
In the back,
original room.
back of the comedy show, right?
That little walkway before you go down the
Yeah,
steps.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy's got a cigar and he's talking to me and he's like, "Man, I really like your show, man." I'm like, "Man, thanks, man." And he's like, "Man, I really like that Indian guy you do. Maybe you should just call him the Notorious COW." I'm like, "Dude, that's a great idea. Thanks, blah, blah, blah." So we talked a little more, and then he's like, "Man, all right, man, I'll see you later, blah, blah." And he told me his name, but it didn't register. And and all the comedians ran up to me and they're like, "Yo, do you know who that was?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said his name was Arsenio. He's like, "Yo, that was Arsenio Hall." I'm like, "No
That's awesome.
way!" Yeah, that was
Yeah.
crazy, man.
But you
That
must
was
have been
crazy.
around all kinds of people like that, though. When you
Oh
were at the
yeah,
comedy
yeah,
store
yeah,
and all that, right?
yeah, yeah. I met so many people. I can't. I've met so many people, and this is the thing. I wouldn't have met all those people if I wasn't doing stand up.
Yeah.
I met everything I ever did, all the other crazy fun stuff was through doing comedy. So that's why
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, I got to get back on the horse.
I think it's a great way for people to get right in there. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to what you're going to do next because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like you got like a new lease on life. I just feel it.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
And what are you doing in Vegas? Are you going to stay there for a while, or what's happening
You know
there?
what? I was thinking about going back east, but I'm gonna spend a little more time in California. Maybe go back to the Comedy Store and start back there because here, there's not believe it or not, it's an entertainment capital, so to speak.
Yeah.
But everything's kind of corporate.
Really?
Even when I was in LA, it was hard to do shows out here. Everything's kind of
Wow. Yeah.
everything's kind of wrapped up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's I would
I
rather
get
be
it.
in LA performing than here.
You gotta,
Well,
you gotta just
I am
pick up
looking
the
forward to
steel,
that.
bro. You gotta pick up the steel. You gotta get on stage, man.
Well, and also,
Yeah.
what do you think
Lot of
you'll
good
do
stuff.
differently this time so that you can not burn out?
This time I just less characters, more of me.
Yeah.
More storytelling.
I get
That's
that.
why I like to tell stories, and
Yeah.
maybe I do the characters in the story to explain
Yeah.
to describe the story more. But
You got to do that. You got to do the character.
You got
gotta
so
do
much
voices,
life
you got all
experience,
that
and
in
you've
your
got
bag.
so much that you can bring now.
There's a lot to draw
that's to draw from. Yeah.
A lot to draw
This is
from,
going to be
and,
exciting.
And
you know what?
and
I
we're
just
talking
have a
about the
better
culture.
appreciation for life. I
Yeah.
really do. I've really
I think
thought
that's-
through some things,
Bro,
and
I think that's
I'm
great. I'm telling you.
I'm more
I
gracious.
think that
I'm grateful.
what you're talking about right
You know?
now, like
Yeah.
the authenticity,
That's great.
being genuine, what you're
Mhm.
kind
More
of feels like
gracious.
what you're talking about. It's like that connects with people. You know what I mean? That connects
Yeah.
with people. You got great
You know-
stories. You're a funny guy. You got great impersonations and impressions
Mhm.
and character voice and stuff like that. It's like you're when you were doing your stand up, it was a big bag full of tricks. You know what I mean? Like you had all kinds
Yeah.
of ammunition to pull out and go with. And then now you start adapting all the authenticity and like the stories and your journey. Oh man, that's all gonna be, dude. That's
Yeah.
Gonna be
9-10 chapters of nothing but funny. Bro.
I
Nothing,
think
bro.
I definitely want to express myself where people know who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead
Yeah.
of, oh, he just did that bit. Oh, that was funny bit. Oh, yo, this guy's got a crazy story. He's got some
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd rather do it that way. So that's my goal. To
I've been saying, like, the more you can be you, the better off you are in performing.
Exactly,
and all
because
that. And
I
I
did
think
get
that
to a point
yeah.
where
Yeah.
I was saying to myself, nobody knows me. So it was kind of like Fight Club for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ever seen that movie?
Yep.
Fight Club?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where a guy's battling with himself, and
Yeah.
I was kind of going through that because
Yeah.
this persona that I had, it was me, but it was always expected of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
yeah.
about.
And
And you're trying to always meet those
draining.
expectations instead of just being
Yes.
you, and it's
Right.
exhausting. It's exhausting.
Yeah, I felt
Oh,
like
man.
the loneliest guy in the world because I
Yeah.
had my
And then
friends
you're
that
like,
lost.
you don't feel like people understand you too, and you feel like,
Right.
oh, people don't
Yeah.
really know who I am. They
Yeah,
just
yeah.
have this
How are you
caricature of me.
supposed to get close to people and have relationships with people when you feel like
Yeah.
they don't really know who you are? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's tough,
Yeah.
man. It's tough to do that.
Yeah.
Tough to be yourself when everybody's always expecting. Everybody's always expecting for the clown to be funny and to be
Right.
entertaining. When you just
Right.
want to sit back and be yourself for a minute. It's a,
Yeah,
it's
you
a
can't
tough,
always
it's a
be
fine
on.
road,
Sometimes
like
you
you're
just want
saying.
to relax.
It's a fine
you know?
line, man.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
I
well,
look forward to doing some
yeah.
stuff and getting back on the horse and making it happen, man.
I look
Man,
forward
I'm
to
really
seeing
thank
that.
on
you
that-
guys for having
stay
me
on that
the show.
meditation,
Yeah.
man.
This is awesome.
Thanks for
Stay
being
on that
here. Thanks
meditation.
for
Stay on that
Yeah.
therapy. Stay on that therapy, man. It's helpful.
yeah. That's what we're doing here too. Come by
that's
lunch
why Joel-
therapy and
that's
do
why-
the breathing. You know,
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love
Tuesdays
to,
and
man.
Fridays. Right on, right on. Well, this is so
You
great.
guys are the
Thanks so
best.
much for being on the show. I really appreciate
Okay.
it.
Thank
All
you for
right.
having me.
Yeah,
It's a
See you,
pleasure,
Sergio.
man.
Thanks for sharing,
All
man.
right.
Thanks
All
for
right.
sharing, Serge.
All right.
Peace and love.
You know
I
that.
just want to tell
Peace and
everybody,
appreciate
you know
you, man.
what?
Yeah.
We're going through some trying times right now, but
Yeah.
just try to be kind to one another, be loving to one another, try to help each other. And it's the only way we're gonna get through it. All right?
I love it. All right. We'll see you
Right,
soon.
right.
Hope to see you
Okay.
soon. All right. See you,
God
man.
bless. Peace,
God
guys.
bless.
Hey, Serge Love.
Yo!
Woo. All right. Okay.
Woo.
All right. That was
That is.
awesome.
Yeah.
That was
I mean,
so great to have him
that-
on the show.
That's him too. You know what I mean? That's him.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing more of him. I've known him for a while. I've seen him do stand up. I've seen him around, events and stuff. We've done events and stuff, and so it's like it's
Yeah.
good to see a person be themselves. Like he said, you can see
Isn't
how
that nice?
relaxed he is. And yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic, and it's authentic. You know what I mean? And it's fun.
I really
I gotta tell
like
you,
the
though,
way he
I
opened up
gotta
like
tell-
that. It was really something.
Yeah,
Really
I gotta tell you,
something.
Joe. Like some of those stories we were talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
there might have to be some fact checks on that, man, because I'm pretty sure I was might have been kind of toasted.
I'm sure you
He might
made
have,
all that shit
It
up.
was a very, very trying time, but I'll tell you, the laughs were seriously real, bro.
Oh, yeah. You can tell that guy's just full of talent.
None but laughter with that dude.
Feed people love, everybody. All right, let's get into the dance break. I got Sam Westphalen here, the same guy that I had on Tuesday, but this time it's one of our favorites, My Sharona. You know the song My Sharona by The Knack?
Did Sergio bounce out? He's not gonna dance.
Yeah, he's gone. No, I thought that was extremely like a great time for him to bounce out gracefully before we dance to My Sharona. So I'm,
Yeah, because you know what, he's not that good a dancer anyway. So.
And we know you are. So
I said that shit, Serge. I said that shit.
All right, so let's get this. Let's just get this going. I'm gonna. Oh shoot, man. I gotta do something real quick. No, I got the lyrics to My Sharona. I had them. Do you know the lyrics to it?
I know some of it.
Because he doesn't sing it, and I think we're gonna have to do some singing of it. So let me see what I can do. Just a second.
He does sing it, but then you said, what'd you say?
Well, he plays it.
Ah.
So look him up. Look up. And we'll try and sing it. Try and sing it. All right. I got mine going. Something bad just happened. Something bad just happened. All right, you got him?
You mean with the system? Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to have a nice dance break here with the old Sam Westphalen. Here he goes. Here we go. Dance break time. He's got his own interpretation of it. Okay, now we're talking. I gotta crank it. Come a little closer, love. Little closer. Close enough to look in my eye, Sharona. I don't know. Isn't this awesome?
Sharona.
I'm trying to get into it. My, woo! When you gonna give it me? Give it me. Just a matter of my time, Sharona. It's just a destiny. Or is it a game? Is it a game in my mind, Sharona? Never gonna stop. Give it up. Set your dirty mind. Always get it up. For the touch of a younger gun. My, woo! Oh, that's my Bologna. Is that a Weird Al? Oh, my little pretty one. When you gonna give me some time, Sharona? I haven't made a run. Make a motor run. Come get in my mind, Sharona. Never go. This is awesome. This guy's epic. I'm a little closer, love. Little closer. Close enough to look in my eye, Sharona. I'm a little one. Now I'm making it up. Thanks everybody for being here. I think I should shut up. Woo! I'll just do that part. Weird Al for the win. My Bologna. But does he say Bologna or baloney? My baloney. Must be.
My baloney?
Baloney, I think. All right, Richard. Yeah. Thanks for being here, Richard. Thanks for offering to save us, too. He's playing in second Saturday of every month.
This kid is jamming out.
Isn't he good? My Sharona. Come a little closer, love. Little closer. My Sharona, I'm a little
Hard ass lyrics to sing.
Yeah, I know. I was trying that, but it was bad. It was bad. All right, see you all on
Go check out Sam.
Tuesday. Check out Sam. Tuesday is Bring a Friend Day. Forgot to announce that.
Bring a friend.
Yeah, bring a friend to lunch therapy on Tuesday. Just bring a friend.
Bring a friend. Get him in the hummingbird section. Introduce him to us.
Yeah, it's like Bring Your Kid to Work Day, except it's Bring a Friend Day to
Bring
lunch.
A friend day.
Have a meeting.
You tell two friends, and so on,
And so on.
and so on, and so on.
All right, see y'all on
Fill that
Tuesday.
hummingbird up.